Hey guys and gals, Gary Clark, A Life Worth Finding. Today we're at Old Car City in White, Georgia, and we're with Dean, Dane, and Mike. And I'm going to introduce you to these guys. They have a great thing here that I think is so American that you guys just definitely got to come visit if you're in Georgia. It's a great place. All right, guys, this is Dane. Dane, how you doing?
Good.
All right, Dane, why don't you tell us a little bit how you came involved in Old Car City?
Well, we were looking for a place to rent, and my wife told me, she said, "You're not going to believe this, but there's a house for rent, and it's right beside Old Car City." I was like, "Really?"
That's awesome.
I love it, because I've always loved Old Car City. Never been here at that point, but from roadside, riding by as a kid all the time, it was very fascinating because before it had grown up as much, you could see these cars up on top of the building out there right there in the front. And just as a kid, it was really neat looking place. Always wanted to come here.
I mean, that's some neighbors to have.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. That's awesome.
Me and Dean started talking, and one thing led to another, and now I work here.
That's great, man. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, guys, this is Mike, a.k.a. the Junkyard Dog. When I first met this guy, I thought he looked like a young Waylon Jennings. I knew right from the bat he was badass, and he actually is. So, Mike, I wanted to ask you, for the viewers, what's it like being able to work on daily all these antique cars, some of them in which you actually get running again?
It's better than anything that you can imagine. It's one chance in a lifetime. To be able to see and hear the vehicle running again and bring it new life, because that's what it's all about. It's new life.
What we were talking about last night, bring them back alive. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, again, guys, I want to say that this guy literally works on vehicles that sometimes have been sitting for decades. And when you get something like that running, it's a lot different than getting a car that just broke down running. It's totally different. And, this is the guy that does that. So that's a Junkyard Dog right there. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So now I saved the best for last. This is the big dog. This is Dean, who is the owner and curator of Old Car City, White, Georgia. This guy's also, I'm going to show you later, an amazing artist, and some of the stuff he does is pretty impressive. But that's in a little bit. So, hi, Dean.
How you doing?
Dean, why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about how this place came about, if you will.
Well, it started off in 1931. My mother and daddy, they built a general store here in an isolated area, rural area of Georgia, North Georgia. Built a little store. The store, we believe, was like 19 foot by 20 foot long, which is not as big as my den in my home today. And they lived in the back of the store. He worked in the mines during daytime, came in at night and took over my mother. She worked the store in daytime. At that time, gas, and we have a sign pertaining to it, was 19 cents a gallon, apples 1 cent each. Later on, they bought an old car or two, and Depression time, another dime a day would really count. That's 70 more cents a week.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy several pounds of bread. So they bought an old car or two, started selling batteries and tires and whatever, and took in a little bit more money. So they went on, and it grew bigger and bigger, junkyard. Several years later, I came along, born in this junkyard, and worked in this junkyard, and played in this junkyard, and now I have a business here in this junkyard. And so it became Old Car City.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I go to a lot of places, and this is by far my favorite. For it to be 2018 and you have a preserved junkyard that you could swear you're in the 1950s. I think that's pretty incredible, and I want to thank you for that.
You're quite welcome. I've had a good time.